If you're looking for a complete tutorial on how to use SellerAmp on your computer and you want to know how I use it within my 7-figure business, then I'm going to walk you through live on screen today exactly every part of SellerAmp and how you should be using it. Stay tuned. Now, if you're wondering what SellerAmp is, it is a profit calculator tool that is going to give you a tactical advantage over other Amazon sellers. Now, if you're wondering how to use it properly, I'm going to share with you exactly all the different functions of it and how I use it within my business. And by the end of this video, I'm going to give you all the tips and the tricks that the pro sellers are using to help you unlock the full potential of SellerAmp. So let's get started. When you jump into the website, what you are going to notice, obviously, it has 3 tools. It is a Chrome extension, a web app, and a mobile app. And they are great. But the one thing I'll say is today, I'm really going to be going through the Chrome extension and talking through that with you. Now, there are 2 options you choose when you can buy: getting started and getting serious. Now, they have no limitations on the number of the features available. It's really just the number of lookups you can do. If you are seriously getting started on Amazon, you probably want the getting serious. But if you're just kind of testing the water, think about the getting started. Don't worry, you can upgrade at any point. It doesn't matter. And I'd always recommend doing the monthly as you get started because it lowers that cost straight away. Now, once you've installed SellerAmp, you're probably going to load up any Amazon web page and it's going to start showing up. It may not look exactly like this right now, but I'll talk about how you can move it around in a bit. But before we jump on to actually how to move it around, let's talk about setting it up correctly. So the first thing you want to do is come down and click on this little cog icon. That's going to take you through to the settings section. I'm going to blur out some of my details just so you can't see my username and account. Right here, you're going to have your home marketplace. Set that to where it needs to be. Amazon.com. That's where you're selling on the US marketplace. Now, VAT, only if you're in the UK. If you know what the answer is to this, out of not registered, standard rate, flat rate, then set it as that. Otherwise, leave it as not applicable. That's the one thing. If you're in the US market, it doesn't matter. Just leave it as not applicable. Now, when we come down to buying criteria, the 2 kind of key areas that I'm looking at are A, minimum profit, so about $3. I'm pretty happy with that. And then B, the minimum ROI. I'm looking for about a 30% ROI, return on investment. That's going to help me out setting up there. The BSR, I don't really worry about. And the reason is I actually look at some other metrics like sales per month, which I find a bit easier to read. The BSR, I'm not too worried about. Now, in addition to this, cost-wise, prep fee, I put in about $1.50. Now, if you're doing things like sneakers, you'd probably be about $2, depending on your prep center. But if you're doing other products, you may even be as low as like $1 or even lower than that. Now, on top of that, you've got here inbound shipping, for about $1, maybe $2 per pound. Again, check with your prep center. They're going to help you out. And it depends on the kind of products that you're buying. Obviously, if they're big products, then that's going to cost you a lot more. So just be mindful of that. Now, Amazon optimized splits is what I choose for my Amazon business. That's the option we have selected in there. I don't choose peak storage rates. And then when we look at default values, I'm always looking at the ranks and the prices based off today, so the current time. And then I do the buy box analysis over 90 days. Now, on top of that, I leave pretty much everything as is. And then you go down, you've got lots of different options here. And there's so many other panels that you can add to SellerAmp. So in regards to the panels that are showing, I'm really interested in Seller Toolkit. That's an add-on that a lot of the pros use, and I'll talk about that later on. In addition to that, VAT settings are turn off because it's not relevant for the US. Prices, alerts, charts are turn on. Profit calculator I like as well. Variations I don't use. I'd probably use something like Keepa to do that a lot more. Discounts I don't use. Why? Because you'll see that you can actually do calculations within SellerAmp, which is game changing, which I absolutely love. Arbitrage Hero, we turn it on, but actually we don't use it, but can be helpful if you're an arbitrage seller and you want to connect to some software to go and find those products for you. For example, Arbitrage Hero will find this product. If it's in the database, it will tell you where you can buy it cheapest from, which can be really useful. European marketplaces, obviously so in the US, so not relevant. Offers we like to know about, so who are the other sellers on the listings. Notes and tags, we can save notes to products, absolutely love that. We can do lookup details. Geolocation, if we're scanning, for example, going in person. eBay, not so interested in. Google Sheets, you definitely want that on and you want to set that up so that you're saving your products to a Google Sheet, just going to make your life so much easier. Seller Central, you want that. It's going to help you connect to Seller Central and see if you can sell the product. Is it hazmat? Is it restricted? That information comes through. Then you can search again, ROI, keeper, and buy box analysis. We turn off. That's generally the way I have it set up. But for you, play around and have a think. Now, once you've done that, come down and click the save button. That's going to obviously save those products settings for you. Okay, so if you're struggling to find the profitable products, or maybe even the products you are buying are tanking, what do you need? You need to find those profitable suppliers which are working for Amazon sellers. This is why I've put together my top 100 supplier list for the USA and for the UK. And if you look in the description right now, you're going to see a link to that where you can access it for free. Have a look down below. So now let's jump into what can SellerAmp SAS do. Now, if you're new to the SellerAmp application, it might seem a little bit overwhelming to start off with. But first of all, I want to break it down and talk about what the tool can do. So when you understand its core function and purpose, it's going to make it easier and more effective for you. So from the dashboard, what I'm going to really do is talk you through the key indicators of the tool and then obviously go through it all as well and tell you about it. So at the top here, we've got about the product itself. So you can see here, it gives you the name of the product, it gives you the brand and the category it's in. It gives you the star rating of the reviews and the number of reviews. It gives you the ASIN, and you can quickly click there to copy the ASIN if you want to. It also gives you information about the dimensions of it, so it's quite useful. Now, the two key indicators you want to look at right now are one, the star rating. For me, I never like going below anything below 3.5, ideally 4. 4 would be the lowest I'd like to go down, 3.5 maybe, but I always just have a look at that. And I generally like to have ones with quite a few reviews, probably at least like 10, 15 reviews at least. That helps me out. Now, number two, I'm always looking at the product itself in regards to the dimensions and the weight. So big, heavy items are just going to take up more space in the boxes when we ship them to Amazon. So if I can keep it smaller, I'm going to be happy with that. So I'll be checking that as well. Now, on top of that, you're going to see here like descriptions. You can just hover over to see some information which is pulled from the product listing automatically. And you can click here to open up the Amazon product page, click here to open up the Google to search for the title in Google, or open it into the web app as well. So for example, if you want to search in Google, you can do this, and that's just going to show you that search term straight into Google. Really useful to help you reverse source. Now, on top of that, we have Seller Toolkit, which I'll talk about later on. Now, the next one I have is the quick info. And I really like this because it just shows you information you need to know straight away. Now, when you're logged into Amazon Seller Central, this is going to tell you whether you can actually sell this product or not. That's going to be really important because if you can't sell it, I wouldn't recommend buying it. Definitely get yourself ungated first. And that's a really important thing to consider. Now, number two, you've got the alert. So right here, this is showing this could be a private label product because it has few historical sellers. And you will see this sometimes, and you've got to do your analysis looking at like, are other sellers selling it? Are there lots of other sellers selling it in the past? Is that an option? So what you got to think about is really like, this is going to help you understand. Now, a couple of other these kind of alerts you can see. Number one, we've got private label here. So this is a private label product. It's got one seller on this keepa chart all the way through. That's one way I just double check that. And then number two, on this product, Ferrero Rocher, absolutely love it. It's also got an M, so that's meltable. So you can guess that this product is a meltable product. It's chocolate. So therefore I need to be careful because those products actually you can't ship in after April the 15th. You can see also though a V, it tells you variations. Now sometimes you might see some other ones. And if you just hover over them, it's going to explain them to you as well. Now when you come back to the dashboard, quick info, you can see the BSR. So it tells you the BSR rank, so best selling rank. And generally the closer to 1 it is, the faster it sells. We generally say anything under about 100,000 you're pretty happy with. So 98,000, and that's the top 2% in the category. Then we got the estimated sales a month, which I like. But I also just have a look, and if I try and show you, for example, this product we'll look at later, this says 58. I'll also just have a quick look here on the Amazon listing and try and compare those two to kind of get a middle ground between them. That I find really helpful. Now, on top of that, you got the max cost. So that means if you want to buy this product right now from a supplier, or if you're looking to buy it, what is the maximum price you can pay to achieve the ROI you're looking for? So for example, this is selling for $24.01. So my max cost is $10.97. So when I come back to my supplier website, I can see that I'm buying for $7.99. So without even having to type in anything, do any calculations, I can immediately see that my supplier price is cheaper than my max cost. So therefore, it's going to be profitable, and it's going to be pretty profitable as well. So you can see here, if I type in my $7.99, I'm actually going to be making some really good money. And we'll talk about that in a second. Now you have the option to put in cost price and sale price. Obviously the sale price gets pulled from the product straight away. And then the sale price is what obviously the cost price you can put in yourself. Now the one good thing I love about the cost price is you can actually do some arithmetic in here. So you could do like 5 plus $7.99, enter, and it will actually do that. Or you could do $7.99 times 2, and that will actually do that as well. So I'll do that again, $7.99 times 2. So that will actually add those or multiply those together. So you can do arithmetics if you're doing like bundles, for example, it's a 2-pack. So let's put that back to $7.99. Now then you're going to see your sale price, and what it's going to do is automatically update your profit, your cash profit, your profit margin percentage, your ROI, and then your break-even price. And these are really important because A, you want to know how much money you're making. B, you want to know, and this is after fees, by the way, all the calculation of fees. You want to know margin is a really good, useful indicator to look at. We generally want to be achieving at least 15% margin. Anything above that, we're happy with. ROI, we generally want about a 30% plus ROI, so we're happy with that. And then the final one is the break-even price. And I'll talk about that in a minute. But the break-even price is what is the lowest price you can sell this for to just get your money back. That's it. And because sometimes in this game, you will find that sometimes products aren't as profitable as you think they are, or maybe the market crashes. So therefore, being able to get your money back is really, really really important. Now, on top of that, we always have the ranks and prices. So it just shows me all the information on the buy box, the Amazon, lowest FBA, lowest FBM, all this information. And you can hover over these numbers. So for example, I can look at it on current, 30, 90, 180, all. And one of the good little tricks that I like to do is have a quick look here, say on the 180, I'm going to have a quick little hover. And what I'm looking for is, if you notice there, it's got average, minimum, maximum. So it kind of shows you that while the average price for the buy box has been $23.71, fantastic, the minimum it's ever been is $14.85. So if I just remember that number for a second, and I know my break even is $16.66. So I know that potentially it has gone below my break even at a minimum at some point. I can look again on the 90 days and see actually on the last 90 days, the minimum is $17.99. It's never gone below that on my break even. So in the 90 days, I would never lose money if I'd bought this product. So that's good to know. And I quite like that as well. It has lots of other information such as keepa, price changes, estimated sales, and time to sell. So based on the available stock on Amazon right now, if at the current sales rank 19 per month, how long will it take for everything to sell out? So you can look at that. For me, it's not something that I look at much. I do the calculations myself, but it can be quite useful. Now, also as well, we have alerts. So like when we came up here, we had these alerts up here. What are the alerts on the listing? So it's like, has Amazon ever been on the buy box? Or they share the buy box? Is it a private label? IP, intellectual property, which can get your account suspended. That's going to be important to know. Is it size issues? Is it multiple? Is it a variation? And on top of that, we have the keepa charts. So these are mini keepa charts, as you can see. You can also expand them and open them to new charts. So very, very useful. And you can hover over them and get the data. And then on top of that, it has a more advanced calculator. Exactly the same information, just gives you a lot more information. So here, again, it's got the same information already put in, but we can start saying, well, maybe I'm going to store the product for how many months in Amazon, and then I can adjust the calculation. I can also look at the costs, so min ROI and profit, what I've got in there. I can look at the total fees, so I can see all the fees that we've got in there and see what my costs are. And then on top of that, you can see your profit margin, break even. And if I'm like, how much money am I going to make if I buy 1,000 of them? And then that's going to, just show me that information. So I'm like, wow, if I buy that many, how much am I going to make, which I love. Now, we did talk about Arbitrage Hero, and I do like this if you are getting started on doing online arbitrage. This is going to help you out because you can just see all the information right there. And this is going to show you other suppliers where you can buy this product for and how cheap they are. Now, the other bit that I really like about this is right here, where you can see this product right now. We've got sellers. What you can see is the seller, the stock, the price, and the profit. So you can hover over and see who their names are and how many reviews they've got. So this guy has got 5 reviews, so quite new there. So filled by merchant, they've got 30 units in stock and their price is $23.12. If you sell it for that price right now, you'll make $5.52 and a 69% ROI. Or if you wait for this guy, he's got 12 units in stock and he's selling for $28.14. And if you sell it for that price, you're going to make $9.79 profit and 123% ROI. So you can kind of just look at the competitors and see how profitable you're going to be relative to them. So for us, we're looking pretty good on this, pretty happy. Now you can turn off all the FBM, and I only really like looking at FBA sellers because we get to win the buy box more against them, or you can change it through historic and recent, very helpful. Now the one thing you might notice, it says like 30 plus. This basically just means that they're limiting the amount of stock they're showing. So they're not showing, they've limited it within Amazon to say they're only going to show the first 30 units. So they may have a lot more stock, but you only know that there is 30 available at least. We don't know how many more because they're hiding it in their Amazon account. So that's something that you can do. Now you can also, one thing I do like is you can just hover over the numbers. So it will start tallying it up for you. So you can see here, cumulative 89 plus, cumulative 124, cumulative 142. And I like that because it just helps me to understand how much stock is on the listing. And one of the key metrics I look at is 3 months worth of stock on the listing. So for example, this product is selling 19 units per month. And if I see there's more than 3 months worth of FBA, so that's about nearly 3 months worth of stock, I generally stay away. I'm like, I don't think the profit's going to be that good unless it's really profitable. Now, on top of that, you can add notes, save it to, save information to the URL, which is great. You can also see the last time you looked at it. So today you can see that I've looked at this product a few times. I've typed in some products. You can see my history of what's happening. You can also see exporting it to Sheets. So I've got my team there. They're exporting to Sheets as well. And then you can load up links to like Amazon Seller Central, inventory, orders, or search again. I absolutely love that. Lots and lots of information being shared on there. Now, while I love SellerAmp, what I want to do is just talk you through how I would do analysis with SellerAmp, using it just to give you a good idea. So we got this product right here, the one I looked at earlier. earlier, $7.99, great price. Now, what I'm going to be really looking at is are they the same products? I'm going to be checking it out, looking at fresh, clean, tropical scent. We've got a freshing clone tropical scent here. So yeah, I'd probably say that's the same product. So now I'm just going to be getting the price, $7.99, and I'll be having a quick drop it in there. And then I can see right now that actually it's going to be meeting my ROI. I'm seeing a lot of green. I really like that. The next one I'm going to be looking at is coming down. I'm just going to be looking at the other sellers. So I see right now, there's not too many sellers. I'm pretty happy with that. These guys have got 30 plus units and these guys have got 23. So selling reasonably well. And there's quite a few sellers in there as well. Now, the other one that I do, and we have it here on these keeper charts, which I absolutely love, but I always recommend going out to having a look at 1 year and having a look at the price. Because if I show you, think about the price now, it's $24.01. If I have a quick look at this product, and I'll try and make it into a bigger screen for you, I'll go to the 1 year graph. What you can notice here is that it has been about 27 all the way up to about December. So this year it's been 27. Before that, it was running about $19.99. So I might just want to remember that $19.99, and I come back and I have a quick look and go, remember my break even $16.63? So I might just type in $19.99 and see what am I making there. Or even at the price last year, I'm pretty happy with that as well. That looks pretty good. Now it has dropped down a few times even lower, but on average, I'd probably say the average selling price last year was around that $19.99, and then now it's gone a much higher. So I really like that deal. I'm pretty happy with that. So what would I do? I would then basically come down and I would just click save to my Google Sheet and obviously buy that product and then ship it to Amazon and get that sold. Now this product is a Kong Air dog football toy, and you can get it for $8 right here. And right now I can see it's a 2-pack. So I need to come in and I need to do was it $8.18? So I'm going to do my $8.18 times by 2. Now what you're going to notice obviously that adds it up, and my profit and ROI are not going to be very good. But I'll tell you a little trick. We can actually get this with a discount code for $5 each, which I love. So we're going to come back into here. We're going to do $5 times by 2. Now we're going to see how that is a lot more profitable. So absolutely love that. Now we can see here it's selling 58 units per month. I really like. I also see Amazon selling 100. They're saying 100. So I'm probably going to say it's selling about 75 perhaps. I really do take Amazon quite a lot, but I always just average it out between these two. Now on top of that, I see it's got no alerts. I see green on my profit and ROI. I like the look of that one. And what am I remembering? Sale price is 27. Break even is about 20. So I'm coming down to my keeper chart. I'm going to have a quick look at my keeper chart and I'm going to see what is going on. So I can see right now over the course of, we always like to grow out to about 1 year. It has gone down to about $21.99 and $21.99, but it's been pretty stable. I like the look of that. And I noticed the new seller count here is declining down. That's a good sign. I like the look of that. So I'm always kind of looking at this and I can see $21.99. And remember, at $21.99, we're still going to be making money, but not as much. My ROI will be a bit low, but my profit will be okay, 10%. So I'm still making money, but look, I'm not going to be losing anything. So worst case scenario, I'll make something, but I'm not going to lose too much. So that's really good. So again, I would come down and save that deal. I like that as well. Now, the final little hacks that I want to share with you that might help you out are look at getting Seller Toolkit. When you use Seller Toolkit, the reason why I like this is it gives you an additional panel you can open up. And what it's going to show you is if you've currently got this product in stock or have ever had it in stock. It will show you when you sold it, how many units you sold. It will show you how many units got returned. It helps you understand the return rate of products for when you're doing reordering. And it gives you a lot of other information, which gets pulled from another bit of software. I really love that. And I'll drop a link down below to Seller Toolkit. Now, on top of that, the other one I'd recommend looking at, I did it in this analysis. I'm always looking at this data here and I'm comparing it with this. I never take one or the other. I kind of average them out and I'm trying to get a feel. The reason is all of these tools are estimations and Amazon tells you pretty good information, but I just always like to use a figure in between. That helps me out as well. Now, the final top tip I'll share with you is if you can, SellerAmp is great. I think it's an amazing tool, but I would strongly recommend using something like Keepa as well in addition to SellerAmp. Keepa won't do profit analytics for you. It won't do the calculations, but what it will do is give you the very, very best historical data of Amazon's pricing, new seller count, and even stock history that you can get anywhere. This tool we use all the time. And a good example that I would use is instead of going to these Keepa charts here, you can use this one, which gives you a lot more information. So you can zoom out and see the 1 year trending. You can see the new seller count. You can see that buy price. You can even go into the offer count, which I absolutely love, by the way. And the reason why I love this is that when I come in, I can go into offers or data, offers count, turn off used, go to prime, and I can see number one, who are the sellers right now? I'm just looking at the FBA sellers. What's their total stock on the listing? listing. I can even see the history of their stock count, which I absolutely love. Now, not only that, I can see how their price has changed over time just for that seller. And one thing I do really love is I turn on the historical price offers, because what I'm really looking at is, can I see this, where I see nice kind of stepping stone going down, which just helps me understand how our competitors' stock has changed over time. And so therefore, what I can do is get an idea of how many units other people are selling or buying over time. And I can scroll down and see that. So you can see this guy here, he had 40 units on January the 17th, and he's gone down to 23 on March the 23rd. So it gives me a good idea of sales, how quick people are selling for, and at what price they sell it for. So I really like that as well. But using tools like SellerAmp in conjunction with Keepa is what we do in our business, and it really helps us to do very good profit analytics to make sure we're making good buying decisions. Now, if you like that video, do hit the thumbs up. And hey, what I will say is, if you want to learn more about selling on Amazon, do make sure you hit the subscribe button around here, and I'll drop some videos to help you out. But for myself, Thomas Parkinson, and FastTrackFBA, thank you very much.